to the radio. Oh, you're in South Carolina. I thought you was Aitland. Okay. Yeah, well, it's a little bit better being in South Carolina. At least you're not up where Mike is, up in Sturgeon Lake. If you was up there, your radio would freeze to the death. I mean, it's that cold. But I'm glad you in South Carolina where you can at least stand that a little bit.
Well, I know what he's going through. I used to live in north of Detroit, between Detroit and Flint. And I'm well aware of cold weather. I hate it, so I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah, the only thing about South Carolina, it's so doggone hot. I mean, that's extremely hot down there. But anyway, good luck and best of luck on getting your radio room there.
Hey, thank you much. 7-3. Have a good evening.
Okay, you too, Michael. Don't run off. We're here until 11 o'clock, so no telling what might happen here tonight. Anyway, we'll get it back to Mike and Sturgeon Lake and go on from here. Go ahead there, Mike.
WSOP.
Very good. Nice to have you on board there, Michael, and good to talk to you. Jump in anytime. Do we have anyone else that's heard someone I'd like to talk to tonight? Or has a question for the group, please come back with your call sign.
Mike, I got a relay for you. Somebody was off frequency, and I thought I heard a WASAT or something, but anyway, somebody come in there off frequency doubled with you.
Which Mike?
Mike up in Sturgeon Lake.
Okay, if there's somebody that would like to make contact with someone they've heard or has a question for the group, please come back with your call sign.
Relay, Mike. Did you hear that station? He's off frequency.
Can you recall again one time?
Was it kilowatt 1 kilowatt? You're off frequency, sir, but I think I can hear you. Go ahead.
Someone's screwing around. All right, anyone out there with a call sign that would like to speak with someone they've heard on frequency, maybe has a question for the group, you give your call sign or say contact.
Oh, no, I'm hearing a bunch of people, but I'm not picking up any call letters. They're saying it's so fast. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if anyone wants to get in there, you got to say your call slow and phonetically. We might be able to pick you up. But in the meantime, we got an ID here, so it's the W0MP with the Friendly Bunch. I guess I'm the only one IDing tonight, so if there's anybody that's heard someone they'd like to talk to or maybe has a question for the group, please come back with your call sign or say contact.
Yeah, it is ID time. KB4ABJ, number 1 with the Friendly Bunch.
KG4WJ with Friendly Bunch.
Yeah, I just did the ID. Anyone with that's heard someone I'd like to talk to here on Frequency tonight, or maybe has a question for the group, please come back with your call sign. Okay, if you could give me your call sign phonetically, I'll get you a netlocker here.
WCAWT.
Okay, is that Whiskey Bravo 8, Whiskey Tango? All right, Michael, or Mike as you go by in Grand Rapids, how you doing?
Good job on it. But I was wondering, is anybody out there going to tell that? I see it's the same as readout on it, like 2 feet drop. I just wondered if anybody out there knows how to calibrate that.
Okay, is there anybody out there that's got any information on the Ten-Tec, how to calibrate the frequency on the display? Anybody know about Ten-Tecs out there? Go ahead. All right, very good, Mike. And the name here is also Mike, calls Whiskey Zero Mike Papa W0MP. So nice to have you on board. Yeah, hopefully one of these nights there'll be someone with information on it. I don't know. I do have one Ten-Tec, but it's very old. I really don't know much about Ten-Tec at all, but maybe one of these nights we'll have somebody that does. So thanks for coming in there, Mike, and hang out if you'd like. And we got about 15 minutes left here on the group, and then we'll be closed for the night. But glad you joined us. So anyone on Frequency that's heard someone I'd like to talk to, maybe has a question for the group, please come back with your call.
Contact.
Go ahead, contact.
This is Whiskey Sugar 8 Delta Mike. I was listening to you guys talking about the Ten-Tec. I love the darn things. I wondered which Ten-Tec he was having issues with. Which one is it?
Omni 6, I think you said.
Well, I've had my fingers in a few different Ten-Tecs.
Other school board members continued to push for discussion about reopening schools. Belle Fontenot rejected their views. She said, I don't want to be part of forcing anyone to do anything they don't want to do. That's what slavery is. I'm not going to be part of it. I mean, oh, God. You keep throwing out the racism, but I'm Hispanic. I don't understand that part either. I'm confused. That's it, said the Hispanic member of the school board. A report at local ABC 10 News said parents Mike Teague and Spring Vic, who were among the hundreds of parents watching the meeting, were shocked at the words being used. Belle Fontenot had a very condescending tone, just talking down to everyone and resisting what anyone had to say, Teague said. All those terms referring to going back to school, I don't see what the relevancy is in all of it. Someone who has their own personal agenda is not looking out for the best interests of the community and should not represent the schools at all, Teague added. Vic said Belle Fontenot should have been a little more professional. Well, that's pretty mild. Both Teague and Vic want their children to be able to return to school. When parents called for Belle Fontenot's resignation, La Mesa Spring Valley Superintendent David Feliciano released a statement on behalf of the board that read in part, "While we were also disappointed and offended by Trustee Fontenot's behavior, we were saddened to learn that she has received hateful, racist, and threatening communications as a result." What do you expect people to say? If it's even true, it could be totally fake. He says, "We strongly condemn behavior that is racist, discriminatory, or threatens violence of any kind." So he doesn't condemn this Fontenot talking about going back to school's white supremacists and slavery and all this other stuff, but he condemns the reaction. However, ABC 10 News said that it is unclear who sent the communications referred to by Feliciano. Yeah, I'd like to know if there was even anything sent to her that was racist, hateful, and threatening. Probably just people complaining. Those ABC 10 News spoke with said they simply want Belle Fontenot to resign and have started a change.org petition, the report said. Chart of Belle Fontenot is unprofessional and does not represent our kids or community in the light in which they deserve. The platform, the petition adds, "Our kids deserve better. We urge you to sign this petition for her immediate resignation." At the time of the publication, the petition had over 2,700 signatures. So anyway, there you go. Going back to school is white supremacy. Just like teaching kids to learn math is white supremacy. I'm wondering if there's anything that's also black people that don't agree with these leftist blacks or what they call them, secret white supremacists, or I don't know. Everything's white supremacist. It's just unbelievable. So anyway, back to you, Bob. KA8JOY, Real Liberty Net, KO4FE.
It is amazing how much the black culture makes everything racist, but they're blaming it on us. Pretty soon they're going to change this so Wonder Bread is not allowed to be called white bread anymore. It'll be called entitled bread. Over. Alrighty, Mr. Larry, I hope I can stay in contact. The band is getting a little long, but I can hear William, so N4ROQ, KA8JOY.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a little noisy, but I got the okay there. Bob, I was kind of looking through the computer. You were saying I could come up with some more good ideas. I'll go ahead and go with what I got out here. This is, thanks, by the way, Bill, about the audio. So I appreciate that. Let me know kind of how this will sound. This The Capitol riot review calls for more police. Why didn't the Democrats have a review on all this Black Lives Matter stuff and it was burning down all the cities, Democratic cities? I still haven't heard about a review on them. Okay, it says Washington, U.S. Capitol Police shall massively expand staffing, focus on intelligence gathering and coordinate better with the National Guard to prevent another attack like the January the 6th riot, according to a security review headed by retired Army Lieutenant General Russell Honore. That's spelled Honore. That is being presented to House members Monday. The House and Senate will have to consider which recommendations to adopt and how to fund them. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democrat of California, who asked Honore, to lead the review, has finally reported a draft that will require additional funding. They just got through funding almost $3 trillion worth to all these Democratic cities, and a little bit of $1,400 money coming back to some of the citizens. The recommendations in the 15-page report include greater funding for police, Capitol Police, a force of about 2,000 officers that has 233 vacancies and spent 55% of its overtime for the year during the first 5 months of the fiscal year. The report recommended creating 852 new jobs, 56 overtime, and cover new duties such as intelligence gathering. Hastening the ability of the Capitol Police Chief to request support from other law enforcement agencies for the National Guard, which now requires a cumbersome process with the Capitol Police Force. Hours-long delays in requesting the Guard occurred on January the 6th, adopting mobile fencing around the Capitol, which would easily be erected and removed during emergencies. Riot teams or rioters on January the 6th were able to quickly overcome metal barriers that officers stood by, improving communications to allow leaders to bypass cluttered radio channels to communicate without interruption. The report also recommended that officers wear body cameras, as Metropolitan Police do, immediately enhancing security for lawmakers in the district offices and homes, considering the use of more bomb-sniffing dogs, and perhaps even a resumption of horse patrols, which were discontinued in 2005. The U.S. Capitol Police issued a statement indicating the agency would review recommendations. We believe that enhancements to the Capitol complex critical infrastructure are required. We also agree we need to increase our manpower and overall response capabilities, the statement said. The department will continue to work with our congressional stakeholders and law enforcement partners as we strengthen our security measures at the Capitol. I still don't see anything about the Black Lives Matter groups that were burning down the different cities, the Democratic cities. Where's the investigation there? I don't see anything. All right, let me see if I can find the Epoch Times. If you guys have access to acquiring information from the Epoch Times, that is a great paper, and they put it online. You get so many papers a month, maybe one. Bob K-A-J-O-Y is receiving there, and I know several people in Knoxville that are. I haven't signed up for it yet, but I've liked their articles, and they're very conservative, and they get involved and tell the not any fake news there, people. It is strictly right on the line. They're telling you exactly what is happening. So, really, really good paper. Really good information. Well, here's an article I read about this LGBTQ bill. These Democrats love all this stuff. They want to sign up all these transgender athletes and have them going in the girls' bathroom. And they don't say anything about the birth certificate. If you're male or female at that point, they're okay to change at any time, even as a small child. Here it says on USA Today, Amazon, Vanderbilt, University, Nissan, Warner Music Group, and dozens more Tennessee corporations, industry associations, and small businesses sent a letter to state lawmakers opposing bills targeting LGBTQ residents. The people, these are the liberals, Amazon, Vanderbilt University, Nissan, Warner Music Group, and dozens more Tennessee corporations, industry associations, and small businesses. The open letter comes a week after the state Senate approved the bill barring transgender athletes from participating in middle and high school sports teams under their gender identity. The House has not yet set a vote on the matter, but Governor Bill Williams, he's the governor of Tennessee, said he supports the effort. I do believe that transgenders participating in women's sports will destroy women's sports. Williams said, as he's the governor, it will ruin the opportunity for girls to earn scholarships. It will put a glass ceiling back over women. A letter signed by 137 businesses and industry groups calls the bill and other similar legislation discriminatory and unfair. We need our workers and their families, including any transgender members of their families, to fill up with the latest case. We urge policymakers to remain committed to the values of innovation and growth that we all share. Any movement of these exclusionary bills is particularly troubling while we are dealing with so many other pressing workforce and economic concerns amid COVID-19 crisis. So, anyway, the article goes on, but the liberal Democrats want these LGBTQ residents, the transgender athletes, they want to be, even if their gender is male, they want to be, again, they wanted to be playing with females. They wanted to be in the females' bathroom, in their dressing room. They have no idea, they wanted to compete. They wanted to compete in women's sports, right along with the women, even though they're men changing over to be women. So anyway, it's a messed up deal. We see what you got in these socialist Democrats and what their agenda is, especially with the EPA and military law and this stuff. They're wanting all these transgenders and homosexuals to be right in there fighting and taking baths and bathrooms with all the other troops. So that's what we got right there so far. Okay, we'll stop it right there, Bob. Sounding good over here. Hopefully the band will still hold in there and going in there. From EN4 ROQ, Larry in Tennessee. Back to me.
All righty, Larry. And yes, the audio is good on that radio. You were just off a few cycles in the beginning, but the audio is nice. I'm going to throw out the comment that KN4CES said. I asked him, was there any additional comments that I could express on your behalf? ? His statement was nothing of real content for now, just trying to temper my emotions with the insane news cycles. I really appreciate everyone's discussion. It's therapeutic. So thank you, James, for that. Let me go to Mr. Mo again. KD0RSA. Mr. Mo, anything else from you?
Well, fortunately, South Dakota has a governor up there that made it straight, and South Dakota is my understanding that women they don't participate one again in the women's bathroom and vice versa. So she made it quite plain up there that wasn't going to be tolerated, and there is that's about all I got to add right at the moment.
Thank you, Mo. Yes, it's good to have the flyover states that are taking a stand against California's craziness and New York's craziness. All righty, now let me check and see if I have anybody new before I start the last round. This is KAHJOY for the Liberty Net. Nothing heard, so I'm going to throw out this article from last week, and I saw the photograph. So a group of migrants crossing the U.S.-Mexican border were photographed on Tuesday wearing T-shirts and carrying signs that say, quote, "Biden, please let us in," unquote. I've seen a photograph, and there's got to be hundreds of them with these T-shirts, and the T-shirts have the Biden logo like when he was running for office. So who bought all of those T-shirts and passed them out to all of those migrants? The migrants were photographed at the San Ysidro Crossing Port in Tijuana, Baja California, carrying signs and shouting slogans in support of President Joe Biden's proposed immigration policy. Biden is working to process as many as 25,000 asylum seekers who are waiting in Mexico under the Trump administration Migrant Protection Program. And it's gonna be yours and my money that's gonna feed them, house them, give them medical attention, but yet we don't get that for crap. There has also been a rapid influx of children migrants crossing the border, but the Biden administration has refused to label it a crisis. The number of migrant kids crossing the border is on pace to exceed the all-time record by 45%, and the administration does not have enough beds to shelter them all. I understand that some of these people are being bused to Virginia, so they're bringing it right into the heart of America. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez criticized Biden's decision to temporarily reopen a Texas migrant facility in February and launched a fundraising campaign on Friday to fight for immigration reform. Again, they can't speak the language. A lot of them probably aren't bringing good job skills, but we want to make them American. This is not okay. Never has it been okay. Never will it be okay, said the Democratic New York representative. The emergency facility was reactivated to hold up to 700 children ages 13 to 17. Now, isn't this the same thing that they bitched and carried on about President Trump was trying to deal with all these children that are being brought over by coyotes? But now it's a different story. Good old Joe Biden. And why hasn't Joe Biden had a State of the Union address or a press conference? Makes me wonder. Let me go back to Mr. Biddle, KO4FE, KAHJOY. KO4FE, KAHJOY. Mr. Bill, are you with us? Nothing heard. Mr. Larry, what else you got for us tonight? N4ROQ, KAHJOY.
Okay. Let's see if I can get this Blabberbuzz article to stay on here while I'm All right, let's see. The average cost per gallon in the United States as of Tuesday morning was $2.82, 34 cents higher from only a month ago, according to Gas Buddy. The specialists generally believe that consumers should prepare for even more pain at the pump. The national gas price average will likely be at $3 by Memorial Day and stay around that price for the majority of the summer. J.R. Young, Chief Executive Officer at Team Operating Corporation and Dallas Oil and Gas Operator, explained to the Epic Times in an email statement. Young said that the rising gas price story was a resurgent demand combined with squeezed supply. Gasoline demand rose to its highest level last week since the pandemic began, as cases are dropping and more Americans are getting out more and filling up. Federal data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration noted that gas prices have mostly grown steadily since they bottomed out in early May 2020. Nearby, the peak of lockdowns imposed to restrict the spread of the CCP Chinese Communist Party virus. The reopening that followed into the summer months roughly tracked with increasing prices at the pump, which tapered off and evenly declined slightly into the fall as the second wave drove case counts higher. Yet, with the vaccine rollout underway and continued reopening, demand keeps on expanding. I believe there's still not that many people driving here, unfortunately, and it's just starting to start back up. So I got to see a big jump in the gas prices. And I think it's going to go way up. I use the 93 octane Milwaukee ethanol with ethanol in the system. It's something that it's not for me. It's very deadly for your vehicle, especially your vehicle's motor. So be careful with that ethanol. It tends to eat your gas lines out and damage your all kinds of things in your motor. So be careful with ethanol. All right, let's see if I see anything else worth recording here. Former Shell Oil President John Hofmeister worried that President Joe Biden's policies may drive prices even higher. Hofmeister affirmed in an interview on Thursday that the supply squeeze was having the most direct short-term impact on gas prices. But there's something else